Assalamu alaikum everyone. Today we will have some talk on Anglo-Saxon period. We all know really well that this was the earliest time period. This was one of the earliest period in the history of English literature. See, we all know really well that Romans were ruling England and they had ruled England for almost 4 to 5 centuries. And at that time, in the mid 5th century, they left England and they came back to their home. At that time, two groups of people, two tribes who were living in England and they were attacking on different parts of England. Those two tribes were Cacti and Scotty. And it was quite intimidating and it was quite terrifying that they were attacking continuously, and it was dangerous not just for England but for other countries as well. So at that time, Vortigern, who was the king of England, invited three Germanic tribes in England so that they could fight with those tribes who were attacking on England, so that they could defend their land. They could, you can say, move ahead on those two tribes. So, in those three tribes were Anglo-Saxons, Saxons, Angles, and Jutes. In those three, Jews, Saxons were quite significant and were quite important. After that, we could see that not just they won the battle, they settled there in England. They brought their culture with them. They brought their language with them. They brought much more with them. So, and with the combination of Celtic, with the combination of Latin, with the combination of Greek, with the combination of Hebrew, they developed a new language which is known as English. So, Old English was developed due to the combination, due to the intermingling, due to the mixture of many languages. And with that, we could easily see that they had a significant role in the development of English language, Angles, Jutes, and Saxons. After that, we have to see some of the important writings of the time. One of them is Widsith, which is a poem, a great poem. And we have some knowledge about the writer. Some historians said that Camp Maloney was the writer of this poem, although there is nothing confirmation about it, but some of them confirmed it that Maloney was the writer. Then there was a magnificent epic poem, an epic poem of 3,182 lines, and it was known as Beowulf, in which there was a hero who fought really well for his nation, and he lost his life ultimately in the end. With that, there was a poem Seafarer as well. And from the names, we could easily see that the themes of the works were battles, then there were some like religious poetry, then there was something like you can say much more about Christianity as well was the talk of the town at that time. And some cock and bull stories were also being written at that time. So let's move forward. After that, we have to analyze some of the most important writers. Cadman, whose name was very famous, was very, you can say, well known at that time, and even after that. Cadman's name got its popularity, got its fame, and then Cadman mostly wrote about the fall of man, the day of judgment. After that, apart from him, there was also a great writer who is known as Cynewulf. And Cynewulf wrote particularly about Christ, his birth, his death, his return. And with that, there was also a great writer who is known as Saint Bede. He was not just a writer, he was a historian as well. He was a great historian. He gave the Saxons the name of antique Saxons due to a king who is known as Anglo-Saxonian. So Bede has its significance, has its huge weight in the history. And after that, we could easily summarize this Anglo-Saxon age that it had everything in it. It had battles, it had the development of English language, then it had the development of, you can say, courts, royal courts, then different things were being developed, and that was a great time of period. That was a time of construction, not of destruction, I should say. And then if we end this debate here, when this age ended, it ended in 1066 AD when William came here from France. He came here with 7,000 soldiers. And with that, he came here with 700 boats as well, 700 ships, and it was a long expedition. And he just nailed the Anglo-Saxon king who was Harold. He knocked him out, and William became the conqueror. William became the new king, and this was the end of Anglo-Saxon. And apart from that, there was a great writer which I should discuss earlier, but I will discuss in Anglo-Norman age as well. There was a great king and a great prose writer who is known as King Alfred the Great. He was, you can say, a great man. He knew that how important English language could be and how important all this knowledge is. He on his own learned Latin language and then translated many Latin works into English, and it was quite developmental, and it was absolutely significant, and just over the moon. It was just unbelievable. And with that, this age ends. These were some of the important points, some of the important things which we have to discuss, and which are important for all the competitive tests, and for all important things, and for our own knowledge as well. So this was all from my side in this particular video, and good luck and goodbye until next time. Thanks a lot.